In this video, I want to start by talking about some common misconceptions in solving quadratic inequalities. What is quadratic inequalities? Quadratic inequalities is a form of quadratic expression, ax squared plus bx plus c. But now instead of equal, we actually have comparison, greater than, less than, or can be greater than or equal to, or can be less than or equal to, or less than. Okay? So solving inequality is different from solving equations, especially for quadratic. One of the reasons is because solving inequalities will give you a range of answers instead of just one particular value. Okay? All right. So let's start with the first misconceptions. If you look at this working, the inequality given is 3x times 2x minus 1 and 4x minus 2. Notice what the students did was factorizing the right-hand side, become 2 times 2x minus 1, and then divide both sides by 2x minus 1. So in the end, she got x less than 2/3. Okay? Now notice that the students may just look at the answer key and then think that, oh, I'm missing answer here. I'm missing half less than x less than 2/3. But conceptually, this is totally wrong. Okay? What's the reason? Reason, if you divide by 2x minus 1, you will exclude possible values for the original inequality. Okay? So be careful, don't do division by variable. You can only divide by numbers. Okay? For example, I can just if I want to divide the original inequality by number, I can do that. If I can divide by 2, for example, become 3 over 2 x 2x minus 1 less than 2x minus 1. That one is okay because you divide by number. But you can't divide by variable. It will be totally different. Okay, so that's the first misconception. The second one is the one that I show you on these two working, this one and this one. Okay, look at this one first, right? X plus 2 squared greater than 3 squared. All right, so you conclude that x plus 2 greater than 3. That one is wrong. Okay, well, you may tell me that, oh, it should be plus minus. No, I can still say it is still wrong. All right, so when you have inequalities, for example, x squared greater than a, right? It doesn't mean, okay, so when I cross this implication, it doesn't mean that x will be greater than plus minus square root a. Okay, your thinking was influenced by this equation. When x squared equals to a, then you have x equals to plus minus square root a. But it is not true for inequality. Okay, in fact, if you put this on the number line, it will look very weird because you notice that negative square root of a will be here, square root of a will be here. So when you say x is greater than negative square root of a, and then x greater than square root of a, so notice that it will only give you one side, which is just x greater than square root of a. So what's the point of saying plus or minus? Okay, so this is a common misconception, but this is really not true. Okay, so same thing as you noticed in part B here, we have b squared minus 40 less than 0. Then you make it into b squared less than 40. Okay, and then b less than plus minus square root of 40. This one again is wrong. Okay, so don't be trapped by this misconception, by this mistake. The third misconception is this one. This is an example. You factorize, you get x minus 2, x minus 6 greater than 0. And then the conclusion is x minus 2 greater than 0 or x minus 6 greater than 0. In other words, the students think that if I have AB greater than 0, it means that A bigger than 0 or B bigger than 0. Again, this one is wrong. Why is that so? Imagine if A is negative 2 and B is negative 5. None of them is greater than 0, right? If we follow this statement, the one that I underscore just now, this statement says that one of them must be positive. But notice if I pick negative number, negative 2 and negative 5, the AB will become 10, negative 2 times negative 5, which is positive. So this one is not true. That's the third misconception. So when you solve it this way, this will be totally wrong. Okay? So in summary, there are three misconceptions that I discussed just now. The first one is dividing by variable. Second one, thinking about x squared less than a imply x will be less than plus minus square root of a. This one is a big no. Okay? And the third misconception, if I have ab greater than 0, it doesn't mean a bigger than 0 or b bigger than 0. Okay? Because this thinking is influenced by what I wrote at the bottom. And similarly for number 2, also influenced by something similar in the equation. Okay? So number 3 also will include this kind of case. When a b less than 0, it doesn't mean that a less than 0 or b less than 0. Okay? It doesn't say anything. So we can't use that. In that case, what is the right way of solving quadratic inequalities? I will explain in the next video.